I'm looking for a producer or a director or a screenwriter or an actor or anybody in the film business to help me bring this story to the big screen. When I first read this book a couple of years ago, I was completely stunned. I kept thinking, how do I not know this lady? How does the world not know her? And how has Hollywood not made it into a movie? This is the life story of Sara O'Meara. And it doesn't just deserve a documentary, it deserves a full major motion picture. I went to Arizona to meet Sara. She is a bright 91 and she has touched millions of people throughout the world. I'll let her tell her story.
I think that we should tell the complete story, not what the story is, but behind the scenes and what happened. Why did we get here?
Their plan was Hollywood.
Its name is known to practically every man, woman, and child in the universe.
Mr. President, Marilyn Monroe.
Our plan was to be great actresses, but God had a far greater plan.
Chosen from 500 applicants for a USO tour.
We were interviewed on 2 separate days. Out of 500 applicants, we were the 2 chosen. Our tour was scheduled to be in Japan in the spring of 1959. It was changed at the very last moment to the late fall, which caused us to be in the middle of the worst typhoon ever.
They were selected for a tour. They were actually being prepared for a calling. They found 11 abandoned children in the streets. That moment should have lasted minutes. Instead, it rewrote their lives.
Every orphanage was abandoned and overcrowded, so we had to sneak them back into our hotel room to spend the night.
No birth certificates, no government support, no place for mixed blood children.
You have to help us. We're not going to put those children back out on the street. They showed up in mass the next day with lumber and stolen army blankets and transformed that place to at least be livable.
By the end of the week, they had over 100 children in their care.
Fast forward 13 years later, we were called one day to be told that Congress wanted to salute us for our work. General Greene, Commandant of the Marine Corps, was present, requesting that we do in Vietnam what we had done in Japan.
5 orphanages, a hospital, a school.
We organized the Vietnam Baby Lift, bringing thousands of children to this country, where every one of them were adopted.
Thousands brought to safety.
Nancy reached out, put her arm to stop us, saying, "You 2 are just the ones to do it." And we said, "Do what?" "Child abuse. It's the best kept secret in America." That a check arrived from the Reagans the very next morning on my doorstep.
Laws changed to protect children. Residential treatment villages. National Child Abuse Hotline. Childhelp. Over 14 million children helped. 9 Nobel Peace Prize nominations. From one storm to a movement the world cannot ignore. Then she was diagnosed with cancer at only 37 years old and given 3 months to live.
God has a divine plan for every person, but He gives us that choice to follow Him.
And the story wasn't over. It was only the beginning. Something extraordinary happened to Sara when she was told she only had 3 months to live. And you can only describe this as divine intervention. She attended a healing service, which was led by Catherine Kuhlman, who was one of the most famous spiritual healers at the time, and she was miraculously healed. Not gradually, not medically explained, but instantaneously. And Catherine told her at the time, you also have this gift of healing. And after her recovery, thousands of people began coming to Sara for healing themselves. Amongst them was a man who had stage 4 cancer, and he said to Sara, you cannot keep doing this in your living room at all hours of the day and night. I'm in construction and I'm going to build you a chapel. And to this day, people still travel from all over the world to that little chapel in Arizona, searching for hope and for healing. Her life is extraordinary. And in a world flooded with sequels, remakes, and shallow celebrity stories, here is a real human life filled with compassion, courage, sacrifice, war, survival, healing, and redemption. And whether you see her story through the lens of faith, humanitarianism, history, or simply human resilience, I feel everyone needs to hear it. Because it's a reminder that one life, just one, can change the world. That's why her story must become a movie, and not someday, but now.